Ahoy hoy everybody, and welcome to my video blog for London Film and Comic Con Spring 2016. It's the 27th of February and home after a flying visit up to London for today's con. When the event was announced back middle of last year, I think it was announced at the London Summer Comic Con, it was advertised as being mainly a Star Wars heavy event, and sure enough a large proportion of the guests announced were Star Wars, but unfortunately most of them were lesser roles, sort of stormtroopers, pilots, roles like that. The only really big major Star Wars guest was Billy D. Williams, who plays Lando Calrissian, but he's quite irregular. He's over probably every other year, so it wasn't a huge draw. When I got home, I noticed that they've actually announced Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca, for limited hours tomorrow, so obviously he's over probably filming the new one, and hopefully he'll draw in a few punters, because it was a very quiet event. It was at Olympia again. It was in the West Hall, which was part of the area used in previous years, sort of behind the Grand Hall. Arrived at the venue, parked up, headed straight for the entrance to the West Hall, only to see signs saying that it was entrance through the Grand Hall. Well, I thought, well, I drove past the Grand Hall on my way to the car park and there was nobody waiting outside, so I was a bit confused. Walked around the venue, eventually realised they were actually queuing inside the Grand Hall. So eventually worked my way in, but it was very poorly signposted. But it was nice to be queuing in the warm, because it was particularly bitter this morning. I think it was about 4 degrees. Bit of sleet as I pulled off the M25 onto the M4 this morning. So yes, it was nice to be queuing inside, but as I say, it was very quiet. I only had 2 guests I needed. Normally that wouldn't be enough to make me go up to an event, but they were both guests I really wanted to meet, so I made the effort. Originally it was 3 I wanted, but Emily Kinney from Walking Dead cancelled a few weeks back due to work commitments. So first guest I met was Greg Grunberg. Greg is in Alias, he was Matt Parkman in Heroes, he played the pilot on Lost. He's got a role as one of the pilots in Star Wars Force Awakens. He's in most J.J. Abrams films productions. He's sort of his lucky charm. You'll probably all recognise him. Very nice. He's been a favourite of mine ever since Alias, so I was pleased to have finally met him. It was exactly as I'd hoped it would be. We had a little chat, had a laugh. He's about to start filming a chat show, magazine review type show with genius that is Kevin Smith. So I asked him about that and whether he thought he'd be able to get a word in edgeways, which made him laugh. And he sort of told me about when we were filming the pilot, and basically most of the time he just sat back and let Kevin go on. I'm thinking, this is easy money. Yeah, but really nice. He was handing out cards, postcards type things, advertising a comic book he's co-written, and he was signing them free of charge, just handing them out to everybody. So I got a bonus autograph for him. He was posing for photos at the table, but since I'd booked a photo shoot with him I didn't bother getting one. Same applies to the next guest. This is the card he was handing out. And this is the 10x8 photo of him as Matt Parkman that he signed for me. Then it was a bit of hanging around. Most of the morning was hanging around because, as I say, I only met 2 guests and I had photo shoots with both. So it was, if it wasn't for photo shoots, I'd have been finished very early. But first photo shoot of the day was with Nick Frost. Nick's best known, probably still, as Simon Pegg's friend, who played Mike in Spaced, and then starred in all of the Cornetto trilogy with Simon that Edgar Wright directed. So that's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and At World's End. He also starred in and co-wrote Paul with Simon. He's in Cuban Fury, Money, and more recently in last year as in 2014. It's 2016 now, and it's a year before last Doctor Who Christmas special. He played Father Christmas, or Santa Claus, I think he was credited as. Been a big fan of his for a long time, so really pleased to have met him. It was a lot of fun in the photo shoot, pulling all sorts of crazy poses and faces. He took his glasses off on one and did a sort of a cross-eyed. I'm not sure I can do that properly, but we'll see on the video when it's played back. A sort of cross-eyed look, and one guy was cosplaying as his character from Hot Fuzz, and he had the swan under his arm and the gun, and as soon as he walked up, Nick said, "I'm having the gun," grabbed it, posed with it, and then tried to fire it over the walling, but it wasn't loaded, thankfully. The guy in front of me, well, guy 2 or 3 in front of me, Nick went to go back to back with him, but the other guy didn't reciprocate, which was amusing. Then the guy in front of me said, "Oh, can we do the back-to-back pose, something original?" And Nick said, "Well, you'll be my 4th one today, so it's not that original, is it?" jokingly. But the guy turned round anyway, so Nick ended up massaging his shoulders. Then as he walked off, he went to shake his hand just to make sure that he knew everything was in jest, and the other guy didn't notice and just walked off. So I went up to him and said, "How could he leave you hanging like that?" He said, "Yeah, for fuck's sake, I'm going to go home and kill myself now," which we were laughing, and I think the natural laughter made for a very nice photo. So this is my photo shoot with the wonderful Nick Frost. Then whilst I was waiting for my photo shoot with Greg, I eventually, when he was back from his shoot, got Nick Frost. Got 2 autographs from him, a Doctor Who one and one from Hot Fuzz. I've got a through the mail from years ago of him from Shaun of the Dead, so I just picked the best solo photo from 3 films that I could find that they had, and I'm very pleased with the one from Hot Fuzz, as you'll see in a bit. As I went up to him and he started signing it, I said to him, "I've been a big fan ever since I watched the first episode of Spaced on the day it went out." And he said, "Oh, bloody hell," and then he told me a little anecdote about how they all watched it on the day it came out and how they all cheered when the continuity announcer said that there would be strong language from the outset and how proud they were at that, which we laughed about. And then he said at the end, "Yeah, really nice to meet you," which was very nice of him, so pleased with that. He was exactly as I'd hoped he'd be, and they say never meet your heroes. I'm not quite sure I'd class him as a hero, but he's certainly a big favourite of mine, and he didn't disappoint. So these are the photos he signed for me. The Santa Claus one from Doctor Who. And the Hot Fuzz one. So then it was a bit more hanging around, and then time for my photo shoot with Greg Grunberg. Again, very friendly as we went in, shaking everybody's hand, arm around you, asking how you were. And again, I'm pleased with the photo. So this is me with Greg. That was it. Time to go home. Not too much to report from around the event, other than that Jamie, who often comments on these, and has emailed me a couple of times, said hello. It was nice to meet you, Jamie. Thanks for all the good comments. I've enjoyed your last blog that you did about Collectomania, so I hope you do one for today. Be sure to watch it. Yeah, that's about it. It's only 2 weeks to the next event, which is the first Bournemouth of the year. At the moment, probably only going up one day, but, or up across, I should say. You'll still get used to having one fairly local to me, which will probably be the Saturday. But if they announce somebody that makes it worthwhile me going over on the Sunday, I will, because it's only an hour away, so it's no hassle at all. I can go over, get one person and be back by mid-morning. God, that's nice. But I will be a whole year older by the next time, because it's the day after my birthday. So you can all send me my birthday presents for March the 11th, care of the internet. Thank you. Yeah, so that's about it. I'll speak to you in a couple of weeks. I've never bothered doing this before, but I keep seeing other people doing it on their video blogs and things. So apparently it might improve viewings, but if you like my sort of stuff, subscribe, it's down there somewhere. Like it if you like, comment if you like. If you don't bother me really, but it's always nice to be appreciated. All joking aside, thank you for watching, and as I say, I'll speak to you in a couple of weeks. Bye.